Hangouts. There we go. We're live on Underground Wicked Radio with, what's your name, homie? What do you do?
My name is Travis Anthony Runkle. I'm 30 years old. I'm out of the Sunshine State of Florida in Venice, Florida, and we are tonight on Facebook Live out of our studio, out of Studio 22 in the Travis Runkle Production Studios.
Hell yeah. Live from Underground Wicked Radio. As you can see, my radio playing in the background runs 24/7. I have interviewed over 7,000 underground rap artists over almost a 10-year span. I've been running this radio.
Okay, nice.
Do you know who Insane Clown Posse is? ICP?
I am down with the clown. I am a juggalo all the way.
Right I was Juggalo News official radio for 6 years.
Nice.
I've got radio drops from ICP. I've interviewed Twisted, not interviewed Twisted. Got radio drops from them. I've interviewed DJ Clay. I just did a 3-hour interview with Lex the Hexmaster, Zug Island, all kinds of people, man.
Okay, that's right on.
So I'll take the first question. What made you decide to start doing a podcast?
Yeah, I always like people who ask that question. I love that question. It's what they asked me when I was on Leaf Pile Online Radio. So you're saying, hold on, let me just bring this my studio cam down here and I'll answer that question. 1 minute. Sorry about that. Let me just get this going. All right, good. All right. So you said what made me want to get into online media broadcasting?
Yep.
Okay, now what got me into online media broadcasting is when I was growing up as a kid.
Before you say this, anyone tuning in on Facebook, if you go to YouTube and you want to see this a little bit better, just go to YouTube and type in Underground Wicked Radio. We are live on YouTube. You can also comment on there because there's a side chat box.
Is there a way, after I explain this first question, is there a way that we can, besides into my studio, is there a way that you get a studio line where people can call and ask me questions or something?
I don't have it set up right now, but yeah.
Okay. No problem. So the way I came up with why I decided I wanted to be an online media broadcaster was me growing up as a kid. I was trying to think of what I want to grow up and be. And I said to myself, I wanted to be like on the set of a TV show, have my own talk show, or be on the set of a movie or something on the set of some TV or movie productions. So when I, about a good couple of years ago, I said, I don't have the money to get on TV, so why don't I start off, it's not a paying gig right now, hopefully it will be. I said, why don't I, the closest I can get to being on TV, why don't I just start up an online interactive talk show network? And we came out with 2 big ones, and we've been broadcasting since anywhere from 2007 or anywhere from 2007 2009. We've been doing it for quite a while, and now we have our 2 shows out now called The Travis Runkle Show and supernews22. Supernews22 has been out for a good number of years now. It's an online news network that you won't see anywhere. Things that CNN, ABC, Fox News wouldn't even match.
Exactly, man. I want to give a shout out to the Lotus podcast just tuned in. I checked out some of your guys' videos, man. Good stuff. Unfortunately, this is a new YouTube channel. I did a music video for Rush the Russian rapper, and he never told me he got his music copyrighted. I had like 4 or 5 of his music videos on my old YouTube channel. I lost over 3,000 subs. So unfortunately, I'm starting from scratch. I lost 5,000 interviews.
How's the studio light? Is that good?
Good.
All right. If you want to ask any other questions, go ahead.
What does your family think of you doing this, man? Of doing a podcast? They ever tune in and support you?
I've had like my grandma. She like I'm doing a mobile broadcast or something. She'll tune in from time to time. Like my cousins who I barely talk to anymore from New York. 'Cause I'm born and raised in New York.
What part?
Like my cousins in New York, like Allison or my Uncle Lou, from time to time, every once in a while, they'll come in. I'll have some of my family support me here and there.
Well, guess where I live?
Where?
New York, Messina, New York, upstate.
Okay.
How? I got to ask this because you're in Florida now, man. And I went down south for a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
After growing up in negative 35, 40-degree weather and going to 100-degree weather during the summer for like 5 months, that crap made me sick, man. I couldn't do it.
Right.
How do you do it? How long you been down in Florida?
If someone asked me this question too, now you want to know how the change in the weather, why I wanted the change, or how was the change of weather when I moved from New York to Florida?
Yeah. How did it affect you?
Well, me growing up as a kid in New York, in Long Island, I lived in a town called Amityville, and I loved the snow growing up as a kid, building snowmen, having snowball fights, all that kind of stuff. And then once I got a little bit older and not being a kid, getting into my teenage years, I said, you know what, screw this, man. I'm getting tired of the cold. I'm getting tired of this freezing cold weather. I'm tired of the snow. I'm tired of shoveling snow. I'm tired of all of it. So I said, you know what? It's somewhere in the 2000s. I'm like, I think it was around like, it was between 2001 and 2003, but anywhere from 2000 to 2001, I moved down to Florida. And as soon as I moved down to Florida, I started to like it. And you're asking me about this 100-degree weather. Like right now, it's like been 89, 90 degrees during the day. There's times where, I can't deal with like this last summer was a brutal and really nasty summer. That's like what it's feeling like now. And sometimes I say, I want the heat. And then sometimes when it's brutally freaking hot and humid, so I can't take this no more. I want the freaking cold. And when it's cold, freezing ass cold, I say I want the heat. I'm like, it's freaking hard, man. It's still getting hard used to the change. I've been living down here for 10, 15 years now.
Oh, that's why, man. I've been up here for most of my life. And you keep saying you're old. I'm 35. I got 5 years ahead of you.
Yeah, my girlfriend, the love of my life, who I met last year on November 23rd of this last year, she's 40, she's gonna be 41, and she does not look like it at all. And she's in good shape for her age.
We got a bunch of Juggalo fam over on chat on YouTube. I want to give you guys a big whoop whoop, and thank you for hitting that subscribe button, man. I appreciate that.
So I can pull this up on YouTube right now?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so let me ask you another question here. Usually I'm interviewing artists, so I'm trying to go off the top of my head here, like what I would ask you. Well, here's one, man, because we grew up with no internet in school. How do you think social media is affecting the younger generation today, like having internet and growing up with it and being so dependent on this crap?
Now, I kind of understand the question. Now, I see the chat in here, too. Can I also take questions through them also?
Yeah. Anyone's got questions there, they're more than welcome to take.
Okay, so I kind of understood what you said, but if you don't mind, can you repeat the question again so I can answer it correctly, please?
Yes. What do you think of social media and the impact it's having on the younger generation?
I think the younger people that are like, anywhere underage from like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11, 12 or 13 or 14 or 15. I think you should be at least 17, if not 18, before you even have any social media. And there's some of these young kids who are too young to even have Facebook and have Twitter, and they'll put dumb shit. They'll write dumb statuses, put up stupid freaking pictures. It's okay to take freaking pictures with your girl or pictures at places, but not stupid pics and not stupid videos and stupid status. Like some of these kids who are, really, really young in age, I just think a lot of these kids misuse and take advantage in the wrong way using social media like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that, and Snapchat, all that kind of stuff. I think a lot of these kids really are taking advantage of it. And I think a lot of these parents are not really, they're letting their kids get away with murder on social media and taking advantage of it. They should be, seems like a lot of these parents, these mother and fathers, are not monitoring these kids on Facebook. This is how a lot of This is how a lot of murders and molesting and raping happens. Because these kids are on social media, man. Anything can happen to these young kids on social media. It's just like crazy.
I agree, man, 100%. Shout out to Tina. Happy early birthday.
Who? Me?
Nope. Someone over on YouTube said their birthday will be in here in 15 days.
Oh, wow. Can they hear me?
Yep, they can hear you. It's over on chat, Tina.
Tina, I want to say happy birthday to you. Because I know you say you're going to be 27. You're going to be 28 in 15 days. I want to say a very happy, really early belated birthday from the online broadcaster and talk show host over here in Venice, Florida, from the Travis Runkle Show and supernews22. We all say an early happy birthday to you. Hope it's a good one.
You got any questions for me, homie, that you can think of?
Now, what made you get into the media business, the production business? What made you want to come about this passion, and did you think this was gonna work for you from day one?
It was kind of just thrown in my lap. I went into Hatchet Radio one day, and they were letting people call in, which used to be kind of like a Juggalo radio station back like 6 years ago. And the guy kept saying to me that you got a radio voice. You got a radio voice. You really should DJ for us. So I was shy at first. I started DJing for Hatchet Radio. A lot of stuff happened over on Hatchet Radio, just drama. I knew they were going to fail. I just could see it. So I started up my own radio, Underground Wicked Radio. And at the time, I didn't have the right equipment to do what I wanted to do, which was promoting artists. There's so many dope artists in the underground that, to me, bypasses anything you hear on mainstream radio. And then I started helping out because I didn't feel I had the right equipment. I went to Muser Nation for a while. Same thing happened. I was the only one promoting on there, setting up DJs. I started learning tech, gotten into learning green screen, doing flyers. And finally, I just said, I'm going to start back up my own radio. And I've been back at it for about 6 years. So I've been at this about coming up on 10 years. And altogether, I've interviewed over 7,000 underground rap artists. I've interviewed about 50 models. Last month, do you know who Lizard Man is from Ripley's Believe It or Not?
Yep.
I just did a 2-hour interview with him.
Now, I want to ask you, I've interviewed quite a few people in the past. Is there any way, if you can kind of, I kind of have a pull with a lot of things, but is there any way you can try to help a homie out, an online broadcaster out, setting up interviews on my show to get them on, like from models to actors to rappers? Is there a way you can help me out, get some guests on my show for us to interview?
I know thousands, man, that would love to do a podcast show with you.
Okay.
I can send your way.
Okay.
Definitely. I can hook you up with that. And I'm in touch with, I don't know if you ever heard of Gorgeous Girls Magazine.
Yes.
I've interviewed probably 25 models off there of gorgeous girls.
Have you ever heard of, I'm not trying to get off subject, have you ever heard of the, it's a very popular online music business, music industry. It's very well known. Have you ever heard of a website and business called ReverbNation.com?
Yes. I play 99% of the music's, the artist's music off Reverb when I do the interview.
Well, my uncle's in a great business. My uncle, his name is Lou Playa. Lou Playa, my uncle out of Long Island. He is the co-founder of Reverb Nation and ReverbNation.com. He goes all over the nationwide at different bars and venues and conferences and speaks on panels and everything and sets up people for managing their tour. So he's worked before his own business of him founding Reverb Nation. He used to work in the city, used to work for Time Warner, Atlantic Records, Lava Records, and then he got into co-founding ReverbNation.com.
That's what's up. Hell yeah. It's good to have connections like that.
Mm-hmm.
Any more questions for me? You want me to take one?
Oh, if you want to ask me another question, go ahead.
Let me see what I can come up with. Seeing how you're not an artist. Here we go, man. I can kind of twist this one up because I usually ask artists this. How do you go about getting a fan base for your broadcast? How do you promote yourself?
how do I get in fans and audience? Well, because mainly when I started on the first online broadcasting media platform and venue we started using when we starting out all of our shows, it's no longer around anymore. Had a great platform, a great a really great the way it looked was awesome. We started on my day one of broadcasting, my early broadcasting years. We started on a website called blogtv.com, blogtv.com. Now when you go to blogtv.com, it reroutes you to another website called younow.com. It's for Blog TV. It's where there was a lot of other popular broadcasters who were really talented. Some of them were lame, but that's where I started. That's where I gathered all my friends and fan base and viewership from Blog TV, and a lot of them followed me to wherever I'm broadcasting now.
That's awesome, man. My co-host that's at work right now actually just wrote a question for you over on YouTube.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to look at it and go ahead and answer him. DJ Gonzo.
Is this the DJ Gonzo?
Yes, he's part of my radio.
DJ Gonzo says, how do you decide what is or isn't newsworthy? How do I decide what is it isn't newsworthy? You know, if it's something like, if it sounds like lame, like let's see, sounds lame, like I'm trying to think what would be, you know, not newsworthy, would be like stupid. Let's say, you know, I don't know, say someone I don't know, I know you don't really hear that in the news, but you know what I think, a lot of news that I think is not newsworthy, and you know that for sure, it's a crock of crap. You ever see in your convenience stores, or at your cashier shelves, at the cashier at the food store, you'll see people will try to believe it, but I found out it's fake. You'll see your National Enquirer, you'll see the Globe, you'll see whatever the Guardian, all those stupid magazines. You can tell they're fake. Now that's not newsworthy. But when you find something on, like, I know a lot of times they sugarcoat the truth in a lot of these news media outlets, but sometimes they really don't sugarcoat the truth, and you know a lot of their news is real and legit and planned out a real way. Anything you'll find on like CNN, ABC News, Fox News, you can kind of bet, yeah, there's a lot of news that you'll find that is very newsworthy, that's very important, that is very, you know, you really should talk about it, you know. But yeah, there's, you know, it's like, what is it? I like TMZ in a way, because I like a lot of celebrities I like to keep up with. But just some of the things that TMZ talks about, like, is I like TMZ for some reason, but then yeah, just like djsnickerz says, there's some things you'll see on TMZ and it's just total garbage and total pollution to your head, man.
Well, now that you bring this up, man, do you think Dr. Phil's real?
Dr. Phil, I think he's one of those guys, like one of those televangelists or preachers that jump up for joy, do crusades in front of millions of people in a stadium, or like Benny Hinn does his TV show in a nice, luxurious studios in California. That's exactly what Dr. Phil is. I think he tries to give advice. Oh, you know, do this will fix this, or do that, everything will be fine. Now, I think it's just my opinion. Everybody's got their opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them. But my opinion on Dr. Phil, I think he's a shyster. I think he's a con artist. And I think he's trying to pollute people's minds with garbage to make them believe something that's not even true what he's trying to tell. So
it's all set up, man.
It's all
an underground rap artist that I've known for like 5 years just went on Dr. Phil.
Yeah, it's
King Grism. They paid his old lady to say all kinds of crap that wasn't true. Like
Dr. Phil is just like freaking, you know, like Jerry Springer. Yeah, a lot of it's planned out, but then there's a lot of them when they have guests on the show. A lot of it's true, but that's just like freaking Dr. Phil, man. It's all planned out, just like freaking Jerry Springer. That shit's all planned out, just like Dr. Phil. You know?
DJ Gonzo's got another question for you over on YouTube.
DJ Gonzo is asking me, how are you able to keep your own politics out of the news you report? How am I able to keep your own politics out of the news you report? It's a good question. It's kind of, when I go on Facebook Live or wherever I'm broadcasting on online, it's hard when I'm talking about news. It's hard to not talk about politics. I know politics get into arguments, but I talk a lot about, you know, asshole Trump. I'm sorry to say, I think he's a.
You fit in. Underground Wicked Radio absolutely cannot stand Trump,
I think
man.
he's a con artist. I think he's a shyster. He thinks he's mentally fit to be president. It's like even though he's our real president, he's acting like he thinks he can do it, but he's a president in a movie like Air Force One, like Harrison Ford.
Exactly. I 100% agree with that.
Like, this guy needs to be impeached, man. He thinks he's trying to make change. He needs to be, everybody's like, oh, jump for joy. President Trump is the best president we've ever had, blah, blah, blah. Give me a fucking break. No, he's not. Come on now. Give me a break. I can go on and on and on of all the bad stuff about him, of all the shit he started, man. He's going to bring us for a war because it seems like he keeps instigating from North or South Korea, old fat boy Kim Wong-jong. He's really going to bring us to a war, man. I can go on all day and all night how bad he is. And even though I don't like him, I always constantly on my smartphone, I follow him on Twitter. I get notifications of him. He writes some freaking stupid shit, man. At 5, 6 in the morning, he'll write stupid shit. One of my fans called me last year and said, I'm like, what do you think? Do you think our president should be on 24/7 tweeting all the time? Donald Trump is making, instead of him focused on running our country, he is making Twitter a 24/7 operation constantly, no matter where he is in the White House or what's going on in his life. He has to make Twitter a 24/7 business. And I agree, as long as you're president of the United States and you should focus on our country and serving our country of the United States of America, you should be unplugged from Twitter. I think the only thing the president should have is Facebook, only to keep in touch with your family, your kids, and colleagues with the White House. That's it. He needs to stop this stuff, man. He does not need to be plugged onto Twitter. It is freaking nuts.
He's like a little kid, dude, with new technology. You got to figure, how old is Trump? 60s?
I'll find out right now. Let me find out. I think it's like 75 now. I think it's like 70.
My point exactly, man. He's not used to this kind of tech, so it's like, oh, a new toy. So he's treating it like a fucking little kid.
Donald Trump is 71 years old.
There you go. That explains it. Social media is new to him.
Yep.
He doesn't realize the impact it has in affecting him.
Right.
I mean, my opinion, president shouldn't be tweeting stupid fucking shit like that. We got a bigger nuke button than you. Come on.
Yep. It's crazy.
Anyone else got any questions over on YouTube?
If anybody else got any more questions for me, I'll make myself available for it because we're still live on our network on Facebook Live. So if anybody's got any more Q&A questions for me, I'll make myself available to the rest of the time I need to while he's on the air.
So what made you decide to do a news broadcast instead of doing a normal broadcast like most people just getting on talking?
What? Well, that's what the Travis Runkle production show is about. We do a normal show and talk, but then supernews22, the way we got into the online interactive news broadcast was, like I said, when we first started broadcasting on blogtv.com from day one in our first broadcasting years, there was this guy, I think we scared him off the internet. He stopped it. He stopped a few years ago. When I first got online on Blog TV, there was a guy, I don't know if he was trying to act like me. There was a guy who was called Big 3 News out of Sabina, Ohio. His name was Rusty Ray. His name was I think his real name was Rusty Rose, but Rusty Ray out of Sabina, Ohio. He had a news organization called Big 3 News. Still has a YouTube up. His Twitter's down. But then at the end, we became enemies, and he was like, tell me I'm copying his news content. I'm copying using Skype to take callers in for my show. So I said, you know what? He's doing a news show. I want to do a news network, have my own slogans. I want to do something better than him on my news broadcast. So when I seen him doing a news broadcast, that's when I came up of being an online news reporter and a news talk show host. And that's when, back then we were Big 22 News when we started on Blog TV. But then I was dating my long distance girlfriend at the time, Lee. We got on a Skype call with Rusty Ray from Big 3 News and his contributor, Ethan Sabo. And Rusty says, you know what? You need to change your name on Blog TV, the name of your news network, called Big 22 News. Because people are getting confused. It's like you're trying to steal our names, our slogans, and people are getting confused, my viewers, my fans, who's Big 22 News and who's Big 3 News. They're kind of confused. Who's the talk show? Is Travis Anthony Runkle or Rusty Ray? So I got on a Skype call after I got off the call with Rusty from Big 3 News. I got on a Skype call with my girlfriend at the time a number of years ago, and I said, Lee, we need to come up with our own original name and our own slogans. We need to hurry up. Can we come up with a name here for our own original online news network name? Then she said, you know what, babe? Let's come out and do, let's call it supernews22. Like, okay, that sounds good. The reason it's called supernews22 because, I don't know, but we may change the name. I'm thinking, I don't know if we ever need to change it, but the reason why it has 22 in it is I believe when me and Lee changed the name from Big 22 to Super News 22, because I was 22 at the time when it got changed. I don't know how the hell we put super in it, but it was just called Super News. Good. That's the way.
Before DJ's Gonzo's question is lost over on YouTube, he's got another question for you.
DJ Gonzo says, how do you feel mainstream news is covering the shootings and gun control? Wait, what is it? Is this after it says feel mainstream news is DPING? What were you trying to spell? I'm kind of confused.
He's texting on his phone. Oh, how do you feel mainstream news is doing covering the shooting and gun control?
How do I feel about the mainstream news? Is how do I feel about about covering the shootings and gun control? Okay, there's some of these mainstream news outlets. You know, some of them I think, like CNN. A lot of these times, mainstream news medias, you know, don't like to broadcast the truth. A lot of the news that should be broadcasted about, which I've never sugarcoated the truth on my news network at all, never blown smoke up people's asses. I don't believe in blowing smoke up people's asses, telling them lies. I tell them the news that is true, that is worthy, and that is legit. Now, like these other mainstream news media, mainstream news covering the shootings and gun control, a lot of them don't even really, you know, really want to cover it or talk about it in the real legit way. And then there's a lot of online, there's a lot of mainstream news medias on TV and on the like satellite radio or on the radio, or, you know, that actually tell the truth about violence and shootings and gun control. They like to tell the truth. But a lot of these other news organizations, I think, is a crock of garbage. And, you know, I've been talking about this many a times. I talked about this the other night because besides doing our shows in the studio, when I'm out and about on my Samsung Galaxy Note 8 smartphone, we'll do Facebook Live mobile broadcasts out and about. And I've been talking about many a times in the studio and on my phone how our nation, how this world, we're doomed. This world got so corrupt in the last few years with violence, with shootings, with, you know, guns. You know, look at the shootings we've had lately in the past year and this new year. We've had
another one this morning in Kentucky.
Yeah, we've had the biggest shooting in American history last year, the Las Vegas massacre. We had the good couple of years ago. We had the gay nightclub, the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, over 50 something people killed. Then you just had that shooting here in Orlando, here in Florida, the school shooting. You know what I said to people the other night on my mobile broadcast on Facebook Live? I told people, I said, I think people should only own a gun if they're only using it for the right purposes. And the right purposes mean maybe going to a gun range to shoot some targets, to shoot some bullets, or to protect yourself for self-protection. Not to just for no reason go shoot. Say, you know, go up to one person on the street or in your house or at the store and say, or in a restaurant, say, hey, motherfucker, let me just shoot you. I don't like you. I don't know who you're about. You didn't do nothing to me. Bang, right in the head. Like these people, those ones are the sickos who I know should not own guns. People shooting people aimlessly for no reason at all. The only people I said who should own guns, own a firearm, is people who use it to the right advantage and use it in the right manner for self-protection, or if they really need it, or if they want to go shoot at the gun range. That's the only reason I think people should own guns, and that's the way I feel about people who shouldn't own firearms.
I'm looking that up now, Tina. I know it was Eastern Kentucky. I don't know what the name of the town, but it says Kentucky school shooting leaves 2 students dead, 18 others injured. Injured. Here, let me scroll down here.
Wait, when did this shooting happen? Just yesterday?
This morning.
I don't think I've even heard about the Kentucky one. See, almost every single day, ladies and gentlemen, to all of Underground Wicked Radio's listeners out there, which is good to be on. You know, it seems like every single day, it seems like there's never a day we go by where there's a shooting, where there's a stabbing, where there's a killing. It's getting crazy, man. Violence and freaking shootings and stabbings were not that bad a good number a couple of years ago. Now, within 2016, 2017, 2018, it's gotten worse from 2017 to 2018. It's
Tina, that was in Benton, KY, Marshall High School. This happened this morning.
Unbelievable.
A 15-year-old kid went into the school with a gun. How the fuck? My opinion, the parents need to be locked up, because if they have a gun laying around for a kid to just grab or didn't teach that, I don't know. You have guns in your house, fucking lock them up. You got kids.
I agree.
Of course, I was shooting a black powder at 12. I mean, I grew up on a farm. My gym teacher would bring his rifle to school in his truck. You see that nowadays, the FBI is surrounding that place. That's how bad it's gotten.
I'm telling you, man, this nation, the past couple of years with violence and shootings and stabbings, man, the rate has gotten freaking phenomenal, man. These people who are freaking killing people aimlessly for no reason, these mental psycho freaks should be freaking put in prison for the rest of your life or be committed to a state hospital. That's the way I feel.
Here's a good question for you I just thought of. How did you go about getting contacts when you first started out doing a podcast?
Okay, say the first part again, please.
How did you go about getting contacts to try to get a fan base when you first started a podcast? Like, who did you hit up? Social media? What'd you use?
I guess I started my fan base when I started on Blog TV, my early broadcasting days. I guess I went through mainly Facebook and also Twitter, but mainly Facebook, but Twitter
nice.
Also.
Any more questions for me, homie, that you can think of?
I'm trying to think here. Is there any way, even though my show's going on right now, is there a way, because I only asked you just a few questions, is there a way if I can plan this out? Is there a way if we can keep in contact with you through social media or phone numbers? Is there a way we can?
I'm actually friends with you on Facebook. I didn't even know it. Okay. I have 6 Facebooks with all different people to promote my radio and find interviews, models, actors.
Now, I want to tell everybody out there, and you said they can hear me, right?
Yes.
I want to tell all of djsnickerz over there, Underground Wicked Radio. I'm looking, like right now, I've been wanting for years to make supernews22 and the Travis Frankel Show Live Interactive Talk Show Network to eventually be a paying gig, so I can get actual people working for me, that kind of stuff. But I have people over the years, fans of mine, friends of mine from online who support my shows. Like I had a call screener on Skype, and then I had a personal agent and assistant. If you're interested, if I can pay you, I will. But right now, nobody donating money to me. I never asked for a penny. Only once in a while I ask for money. But if you ever, as a fun, dedicated project, as a volunteer thing, you would enjoy it. I am looking for, because I'm running this one man solo as of right now. So
basically, same here.
So I hear you. So if you're ever looking, being my, when I go live, checking out the broadcast, make sure it's running all right. But like, if you want to be my volunteer to be my IT tech guy, if you want to, looking for also a personal agent and assistant to take phone calls, making sure if I need to want to get on interviews or something like that. We have a few percent. Then we're looking for contributors too. But the most two key things we're looking for right now is an IT tech guy and a personal agent and assistant to me and my shows. And if you want to volunteer, we'd work around your schedule. It wouldn't have to be an everyday thing if you're not available all the time.
Now, like I said, I'll if you're interested in interviewing underground rap artists and models, I can definitely send a bunch your way.
Okay.
That would definitely help you get out there, man. I know so many people worldwide.
Right.
I've got I think like my 26th interview over in England. I have a guitar player coming on from a rock band over there next month.
Now, is there a way we can plan out? I only asked you a few questions. Can we plan out, even if it's on a video call and you're not here, is there a way we can plan out to have you on actually on my platform, on my show?
Yes, definitely.
If you want to set that, we can set that date up.
Yep, sounds good. I'll drop you a calendar that I have. A day that I'm not doing an interview. Write that down. I'll be going on your show. Okay.
Do you have that? Yeah, that sounds great. Do you have because I wouldn't do it to anybody unless I ask permission first. Would you mind? And I give you mine. Would you mind us exchanging cell phone numbers and corresponding through text and phone?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, so I don't know where you want to take that down, because I don't want to put that in publicly anywhere, like on the.
Well, if you hold up, we're gonna hop off here. I will be back tomorrow night. I can't even remember who I'm interviewing, to be honest with you guys. Tomorrow night's Friday. Hold up, let me check real quick. I probably didn't get a flyer done for this one because I just had my external hard drive decide it was gonna fry. Has all my programs on it to make flyers for upcoming interviews, so I didn't get to do too much promo for it. Hold up, the calendar's pulling up now. All these programs running, computer's saying nope.
Now, is there a way before we go live up the air, I get your information? Is there a way I can give if your fans and listeners can still hear me? Is it okay if I
do some shout outs and links?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Go for it.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody for asking me questions and being part of the Underground Wicked Radio with djsnickerz. I want to thank DJ Gonzo Pryor. I want to thank Tales from the Lotus podcast. Also Uncle Wicked Radio, Underground Wicked Radio. Tina Boyer, who's I think it's Tina Adams from my show. Who else? Mystic, Raz. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for everybody for listening here on DJ Snickerz' radio station online on Underground Wicked Radio. And I'll be keep corresponding with him, but I also want to thank DJ Snickerz from Underground Wicked Radio for giving us for a little while, giving us the opportunity and privilege to be on your online radio station. It was good to be with you and your listeners. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for giving us the privilege.
Everyone have a good night. I will not be back tomorrow night. Unless I decide to do another news broadcast. I actually just started doing news broadcast to promote artists. I have an Underground Wicked Radio group. So any artists out there listening, go to Facebook, look for Underground Wicked Radio group, join it. Start posting stuff in there that you want to promote it, because 2 to 3 times a week, we're going to start doing a promo show, just shouting out your shows coming up, projects, CDs. If you got new merch you want people to buy, hit us up.
Hey, I got a quick question before you go live off the air, DJ Snickerz.
Yes.
Is there a way, if you're not busy, is there a way we can off the air on a regular video call so I can get your number? Is there a way we can chat and bullshit for a little bit, or?
Yep, definitely.
All right, how can we do it? You want to do it through Facebook, Skype? How can we do it?
Soon as I hit stop broadcast on my end, we're not live on YouTube anymore.
Okay, so we'll just do it through here.
Yep, we can do it right through here.
Appreciate it, DJ Snickers. I appreciate you having me on the broadcast, and thank you to all your listeners.
Watch for it because I'm going to be going on his show soon. I'll probably make a flyer for that. I should get my programs back up and running, hopefully tonight. All right, everyone have a good night. Yes, Tina, I did not know. Oh, Tina, I got to play something for you because you are a juggalette and you listening to his show. I am, to this day, the only underground radio station with a drop from somebody. Let me plug my speaker in and I'm going to play this for you. So don't tune out, Tina. Hold up. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna take another question for you, man. Where do you want to see your show in like 5 years? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Where would I like to see my online broadcast networks be from 5 years from now? Years from now? Okay. Where I'd like to see, like I hopefully like to accomplish my goal from 5 years from now with my two big online interactive talk show networks. I'd like to see myself, talked about it before, I like to eventually to see if I can get with being on Sirius Satellite Radio XM, like having our versions of on video of the Travis Runkle Show and supernews22 live interactive talk show network. I'd like to have those shows that we got going on now on on Sirius Satellite Radio in a radio format. I like to eventually hopefully see this getting bigger than it is. Eventually making this a paying gig somehow. Hopefully have other people working along with me besides me running it solo. Hopefully I have a lot of good plans. And my two biggest plans is possibly maybe get on TV, or my biggest thing would be is to get on Sirius Satellite Radio and have our own radio version of the Travis Runkle Show and supernews22 live interactive talk show network.
Hell yeah. Tina, you still with us? Yes, you are. Michael Cash, by the way, I'm thinking about it. I may move back to Kentucky. I'm not sure yet. Maybe somewhere in the state around that area. Just Kentucky is a pain in the balls, man. My old lady had to file bankruptcy in the state of Kentucky, which you live there, you know. When you try to get a freaking apartment down there, they do background checks. You got to pay $25, $30 for an application, and you don't get the money back. So we spent probably like $400 before finally I'm like, yo, why are you guys not renting a place to me? I make fucking $1,200 a week and you're not renting to me. What is going on? This is ridiculous. And by the way, just so you know, homie, I cook right now up here in New York, but I'm actually a certified injecting molding mechanic.
Nice.
I program robots, automated equipment, processing for plastic, stuff like that.
Right on.
But yeah, they wouldn't rent to us. They said it's because she has no credit. She has like zero credit, no bad credit or good credit. So they won't rent to us. It took us $400 to find that out. All right, Tina, I got to play this for you. Hold up. Still to this day, the only one in the underground with a radio drop like this.
DJ Snickers. Is that DJ Snickers as in you're snickering, or as in the candy bar, or you're like sweet as fuck? Okay, DJ Snickers, be quiet for 1 second. Underground Wicked Radio in the motherfucking house. Shaggy Two Dope in this bitch. Big shouts to you and everybody listening, fam. Woo, woo, woo.
All right,
What's
Underground
up, DJ
Wicked
Snickers?
Radio.
How's it going, Bonjay?
Shit, it's going real good, man. I'm gonna give you a drop. I'm gonna give you a drop so you can use it. All you gotta do is sample it. Check it out. This is Violent J, and you're checking out Underground Wicked Radio. 2 whoops, bitch.
There you go, Tina. Radio drops from ICP shouting me out. All right, we're gonna hop off here. We will be back tomorrow night. I'll probably just do a promo show. But thank you for taking the time, homie, and getting on. We're going to hop off here and we'll talk as soon as I stop this broadcast. All right, this is DJ Snickers out. Everyone have a good night. Whoop, whoop.
Thanks for having me on.